So serious. Wednesday, November 2nd-ish. See, I did not go to court yesterday because it got canceled, so I did not get to go and participate in the government fund. Book report, book choice is due by Friday. If not, then I get to help you and be mean, so don't let me do that. Don't borrow or loan tape. You can always get it from me, but it's going to be really expensive and probably make you upset. It's better than getting it from someone else because then bad things happen. Bell work is going to Magic Lynn's Halloween. We're not doing the game show. Then turn it in. Make sure you have turned it in. But I'm going through each class, tracking down the people who have not turned it in on turn it in. And then book report. If you've not downloaded these things, make sure you do that. It also has the due date information from there. Bell work. We have the 2 sentences and to see how well you can go through and do all the labeling. Wow, it was kind of warm on Halloween this year, and did you eat all of your Halloween candy already?
Yep.
Then, to go through and we'll see how well we can help you out. We're going to try and do this together as a team until we start ethically failing, and then my tears will cause us to have to stop, and we'll sort of see what happens from there. Yeah, it's easy to say now, but these are special kids. Okay, let's find out. Wow, it was kind of warm on Halloween this year. We're going to start off. We have 2 nouns. One moment.
He's going to pull out something special.
No, I was going to use it as a reminder ball for someone, but I don't think I need it anymore. Remindering has happened. Nouns. What is our first noun in that first sentence? This is where I leave it up to you guys. We all say it together, and the answer is?
Halloween.
It's correct. There's only, 2 nouns?
Yeah, 2 nouns.
Yes. Halloween is the first one. Okay. Sorry, I was so used to kids getting it wrong. I was thrown off. Good job. The second one is?
Year.
All right. Much better start. Kind of excited. Whoa. This is where things fell apart again. Pronoun, where we replace a noun with the he, the she, the they. What's our pronoun?
Is.
Oh, much better. All right. Okay. 1 verb, and that is?
Was.
You didn't sound as confident, but you were correct. Adjectives. We have 2 adjectives. The first one is?
Kind of.
And the failing comes in.
Oh, no, it's warm.
Good job. Because kinda, how warm is it? Kinda warm. So kinda modifies warm, but warm is a noun. Don't make me slap you. So that would definitely not be the way it works. So what's our first adjective?
Warm.
Good job. Second adjective?
This.
Now we're doing much better. We're back on track. We have 1 adverb. I just gave it away.
Kinda.
Good job. I kinda gave it away. Don't laugh. You're only encouraging me. And then
We want to encourage.
1 preposition, and that is?
On.
Good. Then 1 interjection.
Wow.
That was the most unenthusiastic one.
Wow.
The irony of saying that the way you did was strong. I'm excited. Alright. Was action or boring?
Boring.
That was, I thought, a much easier one, but you guys seem scared to answer. It is boring.
It is.
Ooh. Before you answer,
2.
not a single class, let's back up, not a single kid has gotten this right so far today.
What?
When we get to the adjectives on what the adjective is describing. So hang on. We're going to take,
Shiny monkey tree?
if you get it wrong, I charge you a B point though.
Oh.
If you get it right, you get your shiny monkey treat.
Oh.
Now, once again, to help you out, adjectives describe what? Okay, make sure you know exactly what adjectives describe. And here's your other hint. What was warm? So starting from there, you have to figure out what it connects to. Chapman, you seem the strongest from the beginning. You're willing to bet 1 point?
Yes.
What do you say warm describes?
Halloween.
Halloween is going to cost you a point. It is definitely not describing Halloween. Okay, you're willing to risk a point?
Yeah.
All right, Harris?
Oh.
What was describing it?
No.
Is correct.
Come on. I had
Describes it. The reason being, what was warm on that day?
It.
Yes.
It's not in the sentence.
Temperature.
The temperature. The weather. Is that in the sentence? No. We refer to it using what word?
It.
So that's why it is the pronoun, because pronouns replace nouns, but that's what made that one. I told you it was a tough one, because warm, it was warm, not referring to Halloween. It's alright. Oh yeah, one more. This describes,
Year.
that one was a little bit easier. That one I wasn't as worried about. Alright, not bad one, you guys. Pretty good that one. Then, ooh, the adverb, that's pretty easy. What does the adverb describe? Kind of what? Oh, one more time?
Warm.
Sorry, I had like 3 different answers, and you're like, and so kind of describes warm. Any questions on that one?
No.
Alright, well you guys have not epically failed yet, we just kind of failed. Second sentence, did you eat all of your Halloween candy already?
No.
No.
It's good, not looking for the answer. The first one, we have one noun,
6.
which is
4.
Candy.
candy. That was scary already. We have one pronoun, which is
You.
is correct.
You. Yeah.
We have 2 verbs, which almost no one has gotten correct. I think I've had one kid actually figure out both verbs, which scared me. I did not know this was a challenging one. I'm not quite sure it's mint-worthy, but it was definitely impress-me-worthy.
No, it's a monkey.
Thomas?
Did and eat.
Nicely done. Alright, I am impressed, young Thomas. Did and eat. For some reason, kids don't think did is a verb. I don't know why. It's the past tense of do, and hopefully you wrote do on your paper when you wrote down all of those boring verbs. The is, was, were,
You
has,
just gave
have,
us an
had,
answer.
do.
You just gave us an answer.
Yes, I know, but that's why the kids are paying attention. Most of them aren't. And shots fired. Adjectives. There are 2 up there. The first is
Your.
good. Second one.
Halloween.
Good job. And ooh. 2 adverbs. And
Already.
you sounded a bit more confident on the second one. You sounded a little scared on the first one. And
Up.
1 preposition.
Up.
That's not challenging. It's the only word left. All right, now verbs.
Born.
What type of verb is did?
Boring.
That was the one I gave away. I was trying to help out. And eat is
Excited.
or an exciting verb. And adjectives. Your describes. Wait, let's back up. Adjectives describe what?
Noun.
Nicely done. So, if you were to say Halloween, you would agree to me slapping the teeth right out of your mouth. Because there's no reason you should ever say that, because that's an adjective. So once again, your describes.
Candy.
Good job. Halloween describes.
Candy.
Okay, we're almost there. Down to adverbs. Here, what does an adverbs modify?
Verbs.
Verbs or
Adjectives.
sounded scared. And there's one more thing. Nice one. Other adverbs. So once again, when I say both adverbs are describing the same thing, and then you yell out candy, I'm once again smacking the teeth right out your mouth. Because candy is a noun, you labeled it right there. So what is both all and all tells you how much of this you've done. Already tells me when this was done. Gizmo? No. You just backed out the last second as the car was coming at you. Bird? No. There's a car! Get out of the way! Like every time I look at okay. Scarf?
Eat.
Okay, good job. You didn't back out. Like every time I got ready to call on something.
Oh, so it was you. Okay, that's right.
Well, everyone can say that now. Yeah, that's what I had. I had all of them correct. It's all right there. You can't prove anything different. Any questions on any of those? Good job, not horribly failing.
So you're not gonna stop me? We're gonna get it going.
Oh, I'm not going that far yet. I'm seeing how, but that was not bad. Put the notebook to the side. Not, if you have your book report book, put both of those to the side, and we'll come back to them in a moment. Mitchell, you're going to ask me if I was going to charge that kid points because he's on his iPad. Probably already done. Did you have another question?
Yeah.
Oh, what's up?
Are we ever gonna have to use like the blue one again, or?
I haven't decided yet.
I don't like it. It's boring. Yeah, it's boring. I like it. I don't.
It really is. We didn't get any learning bombs though.
I apologize for not learning bombing you. So then apparently we'll try going back to the games.
Yes.
Yes, 'cause I don't have to go again.
I want to see other kids suffer. So I understand completely.
So do I.
With our story, let's see. Did we get to the God switching sides?
Yeah.
Alright. And then we got to the prophecy that were the hint or the clue that was given to Zeus?
Yes.
Okay. And then I think that's as far as we got. So then to do the, once again, this speedy review to you. Of Kronos' squad, his crew, the first guy he hangs out with is? Whose special ability is? His brother is? His power is? Third brother? And he is?
Super strong.
And these three are the ones that hang out with Kronos. Kronos, who is afraid of being overthrown by children, and because of the curse. Sorry, hiccups. Better now. What does he do to prevent them from overthrowing them? He eats them. How many babies does he successfully eat?
6.
5. And one?
Rock.
Named?
Zeus.
Good job. And one rock named Zeus. And then Zeus eventually wants to free his brothers and sisters because where are they trapped? In the stomach. What weapon does he use?
Potion.
To throw up puky potion.
Vomit potion.
All different synonyms for it. And they get freed and the big war happens between Zeus and Kronos. Why can neither side win?
Because they cut off their arm and they'll just grow back into Zeus.
Kronos is not a good leader of the army, so does a friend step up? Who steps up to lead the army for him? And Atlas steps up to lead the army for him. During this war, what happens to all the humans?
They die.
They all die because they get crushed by all the gods. One day, Prometheus looks into the future, and what does he see?
That they're gonna lose.
Who's going to lose?
The Titans.
Well, it works for me. The Titans were Kronos' side. And so he decides to switch sides and go over and help Zeus. Who does he bring with him? And Prometheus.
Because there's chickens on the
There are chickens over there. And then, which brother does not go with them?
Atlas.
And why does Atlas not go?
Because he doesn't love his red pronouns.
Works for me. He doesn't want to abandon his men and stuff like that. They get over to Zeus' side, say, hey, we're here to help you. Zeus is all excited because Prometheus can see into the future and Epimetheus can run into walls really fast. And he's like, yay! And now that Prometheus and Epimetheus are on Zeus' side, Zeus now still can't win. Nothing changes. And so it's like, oh, that's sort of a bummer. And Prometheus is like, why are you not winning? Then, one day, Prometheus and Zeus are having a conversation, and Zeus is ranting about how he can't win this war. He's like, I even went so far as to get advice from my grandma, Mother Earth, and she gave me some old woman rattly thing, and that didn't do any good. Prometheus goes, well, what'd she tell you? He goes, something like, he who released the beast within shall turn the tide of war, but grandmas, no one knows what they're saying. Prometheus goes, yeah, she's probably referring just to the Hecatoncheires. Zeus goes, the what's? He goes, you know, the giant monsters that are trapped down in Tartarus. Zeus goes, Tartar where? And turns out, Zeus didn't know anything about it, because only Kronos did, and his close friends. And Prometheus goes, well, there's this pit underneath the earth, where Mother Earth has these old ancestors of ours trapped, and that's probably who she's saying you should release. Zeus goes, well, why don't I release him? Prometheus goes, it's not such a good idea. He goes, why? He goes, well, they're kind of horrifyingly ugly. So it's like, how bad can they be? He's like, I'm going to go release them. And he just takes off. And he's like, wait, okay, have fun. And Zeus goes running down and runs all the way down there to the big Tartars, throws open the doors, steps inside and goes, my name is Zeus, and I'm here. Oh, you are not kidding. Those, okay. And Zeus realizes that they are even uglier than he could possibly imagine. He's like, okay, I really want to release you so that we can fight against the guy who kept you trapped. What do you say? And the monsters go, blaga, blaga, blaga. He goes, I agree. But the problem is, when I look at you, I die on the inside. And they go, blaga, blaga. He's like, yeah, you probably hear that all the time. Like, blaga, blaga. He's like, so, here's a deal that we're going to have to come up with. How about I free you, and at the end of the war, after you help me win, you go to the edge of the world and you hide behind a mountain so I never have to see you again. Thus, I don't throw up all the time. What do you say? And they go, blaka, blaka, blaka. He's like, sounds like a deal. And they high five. Boo! And he helps up the big, ugly monsters. And they go, and they go up onto the world. Zeus then looks down at the pit again. He's like, hey, who are you guys? Like, we're the Cyclops, and we're tired of getting stepped on. He's like, oh, I can understand that. He's like, why are you down there? You're not all that ugly. I'm like, we got put down here because we make super powerful and strong weapons. Zeus goes, score! He's like, all right. He's like, you guys are on my side. And he brings the Cyclops up. And the Cyclops are so excited about being freed, they go, we're going to make weapons for you and your brothers, so that way you guys can beat up the guy who's kept us trapped down here the whole time. And so each of the 3 brothers get a weapon. The first brother to get a weapon is
Zeus.
He's the one that freed him.
He gets
They
lightning
give him
staff.
the best weapon.
Lightning stuff.
And they give him
Lightning bolt.
close. They give him a bucket of lightning bolts. Because you can't create lightning bolts, that's impossible. But you can create buckets, and so they create for him a bucket which you could reach into and it electrified your hand, and you like fling it at people like electrified boogers, so they wouldn't hit them and knock them down. Luckily, we've been able to track down an actual picture of the weapon that they created for him back then. And I was able to track it down for you, and that is the bucket that the Cyclops created for him, that he was all excited. Obviously, it was insulated because it's rubber, and that made things so much easier for him. The second brother to get a weapon is Poseidon. And what weapon do they make for him?
Trident.
The trident. And how many points on the trident?
3.
How many Cyclops were there?
3.
1 for each Cyclops. Is it a coincidence?
No.
Absolutely. It just happened to turn out that way, but it was kind of fun. And so the trident allows you to control water. It allows you to control the things that are in the water. It allows you to cook 3 hot dogs at one time. Technically 4 if you spin it from end to end. You're like, I got 4 hot dogs. And so that works out really
And then
well.
you put one in each of your fingers.
Oh, that's just crazy. And then the third brother to get one is
Hades.
Hades. And what weapon does he get?
Invisibility helmet.
Helm of Darkness, or the Invisibility Helmet. Not really a weapon, but Hades is not really a fighter, so it kind of works out pretty well. And so he gets the Invisibility Helmet, or Helm of Darkness.
Show us that
Or
picture.
he can put it on. I can, actually. I have a picture of Hades wearing it in battle. This is a picture of Hades wearing his weapon in battle, so you can see them as he's going out and fighting. Okay. Sorry to harass you. If you look up here behind Conrad in the picture up there, you'll see me also giving you a hard time because it's an invisibility helmet. You can't see it, but I got you all to turn and look. So I still win. And so that was Hades' weapon. The main way he attacked is he would put on the invisibility helmet, and then he would go around on all 4s during the war and tabletop other gods. So they'd push him back like, ah! They'd fall down, and he'd just get up laughing, I got you! And so he had some issues. Chapman?
Why did they not give the 3 girls any weapon?
Oh, that's easy, because they were incredibly sexist. And so just the guys got, it's the only thing I have for you. They're like, they gave the girls like, sewing kits and like piles of food. They were horrible and sexist. Gods! Yeah, they have issues. And so now, with all of these weapons, including the big ugly monsters as a weapon, all of a sudden, Zeus's side begins to win. Because they can finally kill them? No, still can't kill them. But now they can finally inflict enough damage to make the other team want to quit. So in the war, when you have the gods sit there punching each other, the big ugly monsters just walk over, pick up a mountain and go, smash! And then put the mountain back, like, ah, ah, ah. You're like, would you like to switch sides now? Yes, please. And then they would come over and join Zeus's side. Any god that chose not to join Zeus's side, he had a special place he would put them. He was like, I just found a new prison, and I can throw people down there. And so where did the gods go who refused to switch sides? Tartarus. He would chuck them into Tartarus. He was like, you're going to get grounded forever. See you later. And he would leave them down there, and that became their punishment. Every god either switches to Zeus's side or gets put in the pit of Tartarus except for 2. One is Kronos himself. Kronos manages to escape. I have no idea how. I've never found a good story that explains it. Every story just says that he manages to evade all punishment from Zeus. Some stories say that he goes and hides. Some say he goes and lives in Italy. But whatever it is, Kronos escapes punishment. And the other god we'll talk about in a moment. At the end of the war, the Cyclops go and hide inside one of the mountains that are up there, and they just sort of make that their new home. What the big ugly monsters have to agree to?
Go back behind the mountain.
And so they take off to the edge of the world to go and hide behind a mountain. They disappear. And during this war, the sky, which was resting on top of a mountain, and the Greeks believed it was a giant bowl, not bowl, but bowl, was on top of this mountain. And during the war, that mountain slowly got destroyed. And so they were worried that it was starting to slide off. and they feared that the sky would just go phew, and just smash everybody. So Zeus comes up with a punishment for the god that led the army against him, and the guy who was the strongest, and that is Atlas. He says, Atlas, your punishment is to lift the sky on your back to prevent it from falling down and crushing all of us. So this would be Atlas lifting up the sky, and he had to stand on top of a mountain and prevent it from coming down and crushing everybody down below. So now we have the sky, and Atlas going up there, holding up the sky on his back. Mr. Brovicast, there's a problem. I know. If I were to tell Zion that you got in trouble, and your punishment is I'm going to lay on the ground, and you have to hold a giant weight above my head for the rest of time, because if you drop it, I'm going to die, and that's your punishment, and suck it up, what's the first thing Zion's going to do?
Drop it.
Yeah. Nope, you're dead. Punishment's over. And so Zeus realizes that's not going to work, because he's like, oh, I dropped it. It slipped. Nope, you're all dead. So Zeus has a backup plan. And Zeus goes, Atlas, here's what I'm going to do. You have 9 daughters. The Hesperides. They were down in the pit of Tartarus. I am going to free them, so they no longer have to be in the pit of Tartarus. They can live on your mountain and hang out with you and come see you whenever you want, but if you drop the sky, you'll kill your daughters also. And so Atlas's daughters get to remain free, and they get to run around on Earth near him and hang out, thus preventing Atlas from dropping the mountain and killing his own family and killing all of the others. Zeus is now the king of all the gods, steps onto Mount Olympus and goes, yay me! As the king of all the gods and Mount Olympus, he has thrones to fill. How many thrones does he need to fill? 12 thrones. 11 technically, because he already filled one of himself. So he has the other 12 thrones to fill in.
11.
Which is the next part of the story we get to. To help you out, we're going to have you write down those 12 gods. So here's where your notebook comes in handy again. I'm going to have you make this entry. It says homework, but as long as you do it with me, it's not going to be homework. You're going to fill it in as we go through. If you go to your happy place and just ignore me, then yes, we've done homework for you. We'll start it today. We're not going to finish it today. Well, I won't finish it till Friday if I had to guess. Because there's going to be a story that goes along with each god as they get their throne. And you get B points when we get done with this. Because you're going to memorize it. And then you're going to stand up and recite it in front of the class. There's hand signs that go along with it. I'll put it up in front of class again tomorrow. If you don't get a copy now, it's not the end.
Kind of like the form assembly, like the rest.
Just like that.
Whoa!
Who would have seen it coming?
Not me.
Tomorrow, it's just stories, unless you owe me work.